Hey guys, it's Chance. Sorry I've been taking a hiatus for a while. The holidays got crazy. I honestly didn't even want to fucking look at this thing. But here we are. So, what happened? It's a little bit of a dumbass move on my part. I didn't get the crank polished, which in turn, a buddy of mine's dad explained to me how that could be an issue. And I do want to spread that information so people know in the future, if they're doing a project like this, to just keep it in mind. So the way he explained it was, it's like a brake rotor, okay? So the brake rotor being the crank, and then the pads being the rod bearings or the crank bearings. I put new crank bearings in it, but it was a old crank and I never got polished. So it was kind of like putting a new brake pads on a fucked up rotor. And with that falling through that river of fucked upness, it's like, the best way to explain it is it goes like this, and it goes into the wear that's already on the crank, and that leaves no room for oil to get in between the crank and the bearing. That's what we think. I'm about to drop it off at that buddy's dad. Shout out to him. It's Mike's Marine Performance, I believe. He's pretty cool. He's really knowledgeable in LSs especially, and really knowledgeable in boats, which is not my ballpark. But that's the update. I fucked up, dude. It ran great though, and I cannot. It has me so hyped. I just watched some videos recently. I just posted some too, and it kind of revived my want to get back into it, because it was a real gut punch when my engine seized. It was not oil starvation. There was a lot of rumors going around that it was oil starvation. It is definitely not oil starvation, because I went with a F-body oil pan and a improved racing baffle with a core over. So I know for a fact that it is not oil starvation. Yeah, and that's the thing that I'm curious myself, and I do think it's that the new rod bearings with the old crank that was never polished. But it is what it is. It's the past. We live and learn. I hope I can show someone, to do it if they are doing the same thing, to just do it. I was always told that, it's an LS, just slap it together and call it a day, but it's definitely not the case. When you're putting new shit with old shit, you gotta make the old shit almost new, if that makes sense. But it opens up a valley of things I needed to do for the swap per se. There's just a couple things that I wasn't happy with. The radiator was too close to the water pump on the engine. I didn't like the way the headers, the V-bands on the headers, they don't really match the V-bands that I bought. So I'm gonna cut those off of the headers and put those, the matching V-bands that I bought, onto the headers. I'm gonna remove the ABS unit. With the radiator, I'm just gonna cut the mounts off where it's a stock radiator, so it has the stock mounts. So I'm gonna nick those off and just drop them and move them forward. So that way the radiator gets pushed like this, away from the engine. Other than that, most of the things, it went well. No fires, no nothing like that. The exhaust turned out great. I mean, I did the exhaust myself, which is surprising because I was really worried about it. That I'd have exhaust leaks here and there everywhere, and it actually turned out pretty great. The only exhaust leak that I had was the V-band on the header. So that is going to be changed. Power steering did great. Alternator did great. There's a bunch of stuff that I did that I had to manufacture and stuff like that. And that all turned out actually pretty great. But other than that, I mean, there's just a few things that I need to do. This is going to be the most expensive thing to do because it's probably going to need a crank, which within new crank, it's going to have new pistons and new rods, because when you buy a new crank, it has to be balanced to the pistons and rods. And to buy just a crank and then use this like the old pistons and rods, it's almost the same cost as it would be just to buy the crank, pistons, and rods all together. Pretty balanced. But that's probably the route I'm going to go. I'm going to hit up Texas Speed and see what my options are. This thing was fucking rowdy, I tell you that. I mean, it was insane. There was a weird issue. I think it was just the engine had a little bit more torque than the Transit's used to. When I put it in fifth, and it was, I don't drift in fifth, but when I'm driving on the streets and shit, I'd have it in fifth because I'm just cruising, and then when I let off, it would pop out for no reason. I don't know if it's bad synchros. I never had that issue with the M52, but I don't know. It could be bad synchros. I doubt it, because who the fuck is racing in fifth gear? I mean, that's a long gear. But I don't know. I bought it used. It's not like a new transmission, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm not gonna fuck with it because I'm not gonna drift in fifth. I think the highest gear I'm gonna ever drift in is fourth, before I have to go to a dog box, which is in the books, but it is it is way down the line, because I got to worry about subframe axles and stuff like that first before I start thinking about doing a transmission and shit like that. But yeah, I just pulled this out. It took me I did most of the work a couple weekends ago. I just did small bits here and there, but it only took me about 2 hours to pull out. But yeah, then that's everything. I mean, if you guys enjoy me posting this, just let me know. It really does help out. If you want to see what kind of parts I use for the E36, as far as what I put into the swap for this LS, just let me know. Just comment like, hey, what kind of fans did you use, or what motor mounts, what headers, what engine management, what trans mounts, what radiator, what everything. Just let me know. It helps me out. It doesn't really help me out, honestly, because I don't get shit from these videos. I don't get shit. But I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. This is my update. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you on the flip side.